We've been waiting for this for 2 years. I tell you all this. As an Italian, is very special. I woke up very early this day, and I expect obviously a Max win, a Red Bull win, Red Bull 1-2 maybe. But at the end, it's a Ferrari 1-2. That's something really, really amazing. Obviously, my favorite driver is Charles Leclerc, but to see Carlos Sainz, a Ferrari win, to see the Ferrari finish first and second, it's a very, very good emotion. But we'll talk about the race right now. The race started at lap 1. Obviously, with the race start, we're all on medium tires except for Alonso on our tires, Hamilton, and some other on soft tires. Then Russell did a very good start and aggressively past Perez and defended on Perez on the first laps of this. And lap 2, Sainz took the lead as well ahead of Max Verstappen, that in that moment wasn't struggling yet. So with the DRS, turn 9, around the outside, Carlos Sainz leader for the first time of this Australian Grand Prix. Obviously, I expected overtake for Verstappen, also a fight between Verstappen and Sainz. But on lap 4, Verstappen had problems with the brakes, and a lot of smoke comes from the rear tires of the Red Bull Racing of Max. Obviously, this problem cost him the race and so retired in the box. From this lap, Sainz started a very phenomenal race. He led almost all the laps of this. So on lap 7, there was the first pit stop of Daniel Ricciardo. Then some laps later, also Hamilton and Bottas pitted. On lap 9, there was the first pit stop for Charles Leclerc, his Ferrari. He started on medium. On lap 14, also Norris pitted, and on lap 16, there was the pit stop for Carlos Sainz. So 7 laps later than Charles Leclerc. Obviously, Sainz wasn't in the fight, was in P1, and so he could manage the tires better. And from the first pit stop, the race was decided because Sainz did the pit stop few laps later than Leclerc. So the tire management, he could do much more tire management, obviously, against Leclerc, for example. So Leclerc undercut on Norris worked because when Norris exit the pit lane on lap 14, Leclerc was ahead by 2 seconds. I don't really remember, but 2.2. So on lap 17, there was the second DNF of this race, and it was Lewis Hamilton with his Mercedes that had engine problem. So there was a virtual safety car. They all pitted, apart of Fernando Alonso, that was in P1 at the moment because he didn't pit. And so with this pit stop under the virtual safety car, he gained a lot of time, obviously 10 seconds of time. At the restart of this virtual safety car, Leclerc was pretty close to Sainz, 1.5 seconds, maybe a bit less. But then Sainz with much fresher tires, with also the team order of not attacking Sainz, obviously Sainz did a mega job, pushed. It was like Verstappen today. It seems like Verstappen really every lap constantly on the same time, constantly pushing, gaining a lot on Leclerc. On lap 27, so 7 laps after the restart, Perez passes Alonso. On lap 35, after a lot of graining and struggling a lot with the car, there was a second and final pit stop for Charles Leclerc. So also this was the first second pit stop of the top 4 drivers. There was obviously Sainz, Leclerc, Piastri and Norris, so the 2 McLarens and the 2 Ferraris. So on lap 37, Norris gaining for the first time a bit on Carlos Sainz, and Leclerc with the new tires did the fastest lap of the race. On lap 39, mega overtake of Yuki Tsunoda ahead of the awesome Nico Hülkenberg to take P9. On lap 40, there was the pit stop also for Oscar Piastri that pitted the same lap as Leclerc. On lap 41, also Norris pitted, and on lap 42, also the pit stop for Carlos Sainz and Fernando Alonso. Leclerc in the final stint did a very good job in my opinion, because he managed the gap ahead of Norris. Like, there was 3.8, 3.7 seconds for like all the final stints, and he managed really well. Only in the last 3 laps, like 3-4 laps, he lost a bit. Like, he went from 3.7 to in some laps, but he managed really well because Norris had very much newer tires, 6 laps, sorry, much fresher tires of Leclerc, so very good job for Leclerc in the final stint. Very good defense also for Alonso on Russell, that at the final lap went in the wall at turn 6. Very big crash. Obviously we're happy that Russell is okay, but 0 points for Mercedes, guys. 0 points for Mercedes. That's something. Obviously they were struggling all the weekend, but 2 DNFs in this race, and it's the second time I can remember that Russell crashed like at the final lap. I remember, for example, Singapore, and in these 2 races Sainz won. So is that the case or not? And I want to notice that these 2 races of Carlos Sainz that won this like dominated season, maybe this year a bit less, but there was the weekend before Japan Grand Prix. I noticed this while I was watching the race in the final lap, so I wanted just to tell you. But on lap 57, so the lap before the final lap, Leclerc did the fastest lap of the race, so 1 more point for him, and so 47 points in the championship, in second, just ahead of Sergio Perez that finished 5, for 1 point ahead of Sergio Perez. Just 4 points behind Max Verstappen. Ferrari in the championship 93 points, and Red Bull 97. So 4 points to the Red Bull. Could be a goal. The constructor championship, if Perez will struggle in the second part of the season, could be a goal to win the constructor championship. Not really the driver, because it's really difficult with this Red Bull that for the moment is obviously the best car. Not really this weekend, because the Ferrari shown a lot of good pace. Leclerc, unfortunately, from Saturday struggled a lot with the car, much less confidence, and it happened the contrary to Sainz, that was really confident, really fast in the Ferrari from Saturday to the race. But really good Ferrari, 1-2, guys. So yeah, at the last lap, obviously Carlos Sainz won, virtual safety car for the Russell crash. So Sainz won with Leclerc P2, and so he's an amazing 1-2, and that's obviously Sainz driver of the day, like 40% of vote, like that. I voted for Carlos Sainz. A mega job today. Obviously, as I remember, I said it in the pre-GP of yesterday, but 2 weeks after he's been operated for appendicitis, he drove and he won, and that's something really good. He's doing a very good start of the season. Sainz, Leclerc, maybe a good start, but not as good as Sainz. So yeah, sometimes Leclerc has not really good starts of the season. Also last year. Also very competitive McLaren, I want to say, in P3 and P4. I wanted to see, honestly, Piastri at podium in his own race, but unfortunately, Norris has much more pace than him, but he couldn't catch P2. I don't know. So Norris P3, Piastri P4, Perez P5. In P6, as I can remember, there is Fernando Alonso. In P7, an anonymous Lance Stroll. In P8, a mega Yuki Tsunoda. 4 points for the Racing Bulls. P9 and P10 for the Haas. Double points for them. 3 points for the us, 4 points for the Racing Bulls, P11 for Alexander Albon with the Sergeant car. I want to remember you. I talked a bit in the yesterday's video of the Pre-GP. P12 Ricardo, very struggling in his home race as well. P13, good race for Gasly. P14 for Bottas, P15 for Zhou, P16 for Esteban Ocon, and then the others are retired. So Russell, Hamilton, Verstappen, and obviously not race he didn't race Sergeant. So at the end, I'm really happy about this race. I'm really happy. Maybe a bit longer video than usual, you know, but I wanted to talk a lot about this race. Really happy. What do you think about this race? Do you think that Sainz would win with Verstappen without problems? I think so. I think that Sainz could win because he's shown the pace. Also in the first laps, you know, he was gaining a bit on Max Verstappen. So I think he could win anyway because the Ferrari pace was really good. We are all really happy. So basically, for this video is all, guys. Tell me your opinion in the comments because I feel like wow. For this video is all, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for more. As always, it's been a pleasure. Cheers.